Well, hello everybody. I thought I'd do a brief video here on just talking a little bit more about the reflection papers for this course, the Christian Faith and the Natural Sciences. I, from the very outset, I felt like this wasn't a class where I wanted to try to test you on terms or ideas so much as to encourage you to reflect through writing about ideas or concepts that occur to you to want to explore a little bit further uh, that arise out of our both our reading and our class discussions. And so that's what these papers are for. As you know, you have a choice of 6 due dates in which to do 5 papers. Obviously, if somebody wants to do 6 and then drop their lowest score or something like that, that's fine by me. What I'm looking for is your own sort of reflections as we engage ideas in the class. I've tried to spread these out through the semester, of course, so that you have opportunity to kind of tackle different concepts as we go along. I don't even know how to put too much expectation on this, like what am I looking for? I'm looking for your voice for sure, your reflections, but always in responsible and critical interaction with or conversation with, again, ideas that we've encountered in reading and in class. It would be good in that light that you try to find materials to quote from our reading. I'm not putting a hard expectation on that, but if you do, it just signals to me that you're at least trying to engage with the material and engage with it in a thoughtful way. You certainly feel free to cite or allude or quote the Bible. Also, no absolute requirement that you do so. For that matter, you can draw on any source, that you feel inclined to do, as long as it's pertinent and relevant to your paper. But I mostly want to encounter your reflections, and I want to encounter them in the best writing you can give me. I do tend to have, I'll just tell you, high standards for grammar, punctuation, usage, etc. That's why I had you go over the writing tips. And they're not a panacea, which means a cure-all. And it would be a good idea unless you're terribly, terribly confident in your writing skills, as I was when I was in college. And maybe you have every right to be confident, but if you're not sure, it's a good idea. Always a good idea to have another proofreader or have a proofreader. And even if you're a really good writer, we often overlook our own errors pretty readily. And it would be good for your paper to go through another set of eyes that are pretty reliable before it gets to me. I do proofread, but I don't want to be the first one to proofread it. That'll probably put me in a bad mood. You don't want me in a bad mood when I'm putting a grade on your paper. I think I've sort of laid out my general rubric in Canvas for grading these. So pick an idea, any idea, be from things I've handed out or articles we've read. Do a little more research if you wish on some idea, but always, of course, do proper citation of anything that you cite, and you should have learned how to do that by now. I'm sure you have. I feel like I was going to say one more thing, but it's eluding me at the moment. Oh, I think I gave this like a 2-page. I would say 2 pages is a minimum. Don't give me anything much less than 2 pages, or regardless of the concept you're exploring, I'll probably feel like you didn't explore it as well as you could have or should have. I probably would like to see it go over into a third page more often than be less than 2. But I also don't want these to be burdensome. Short reflections, that's double spaced, of course. But really, that represent your work. I want to use a term like your creative engagement with whatever concept, term, idea, biblical passage even that you want to address in your paper. You certainly could do something that does more with Psalm 104 if you wanted to, for example. As long as it isn't, as long as it also you bring it into some kind of conversation with the things we've talked about in class. Well, I hope this helps a little bit, and I'll post this ASAP, and we'll see how we do. Blessings to all of you.